Alright, so here we go into game number 2 of TEHREDBANDIT's ZVTs here. TEHREDBANDIT will be spawning up in the top right as our red Zerg player, and down in the bottom right will be the blue Terran player Dirtybag. So it looks like in this map, obviously, that TEHREDBANDIT won't be able to take his same hidden expansion they took last game all the way down here, because that is his opponent's natural in this case. Sending his Overlord out in the wrong direction, unfortunately, to start off. And if the last game is any indication, then this will be a lot of macroing up here. Supply depot going down here to be able to SCV up a little bit longer. Just waiting on this Overlord to complete so we can pop out a few more drones here. Or maybe take his expansion at 11, it looks like. And there he goes. Expansion going to be going down really quickly. Barracks going down before Command Center this time, so we'll see if Red Bandit is going to be able to handle it as immaculately as he did last game with the later push from the Terran player. And Dirtybag also scouting the wrong direction to start off, so scouting information is going to be very late in this game. This Overlord will eventually get some scouting information, but it may be too little too late. This drone, though, going to definitely be able to get some scouting information before it's too late. And the barracks about to finish here pretty quick. We're able to start seeing some Marines get put out, and this SCV looks like it's going to go ahead and take the expansion for the Terran player, which Red Bandit is going to scout just about as soon as it goes down. And we'll see if he chooses to use these Marines defensively or offensively, because his scouting information is going to be really late, so I'm not sure if he's going to be comfortable not walling off or getting a bunker really quick. Ooh, nice little gas steal coming down. That's actually extremely good. I never really thought about it for Starbow. It's extremely effective because you're taking player's entire gas with that one worker. Like, there's just no option for Dirtybag to take any gas at all right now. And Red Bandit is going to let this finish, so that would be 2 Marines stuck back here fighting this off for quite a while. And this expansion about to finish. Dirtybag could take that gas, I suppose. It could finish right about the same time as this Command Center will finish. Ooh, Dirtybag might have seen this drone go over there, and if he did, I'm pretty sure this drone is going for one of his hidden expansions, but if Dirtybag was paying attention, he might be keen on that, because Red Bandit knows where his opponent is, so there's no reason for this drone to be going over here, unless it's for some sneaky shenanigans stuff. So Overlord just going to hang out here, watch for any drops that will eventually leave. And here we go with that hidden expansion. And I'm really curious if Dirtybag was paying attention to that or not, because that could be a huge game changer. That could be a major difference from the last game if Dirtybag's able to get over there and deny this third base, or at least be aware of his existence. He did go over and check for this third, but he didn't go and check for the hidden third, so that definitely makes me think that he was not paying attention at that point in time. So unfortunate, but a big group of Marines here, about 7 Marines going to be moving out and putting a little pressure on the Zerg player, forcing him to build some Zerglings. There are already 6 Zerglings out on the field. I believe that's the total, yes. 6 Zerglings. And it looks like they might push out as well. I don't believe he knows about this force coming, but this one scouting Zergling definitely going to catch wind of this. And he gets taken out, and what? That's going to prompt him to put his Queen in the right position to start being able to do damage to these Marines. He's pushing in. Queen rages out there, going to be able to pick off 1 Marine with her throwing darts and chase the Marines all the way out of there. Queen does so much damage. 9 damage. What is it? 9. So 18 damage. Wow. That really does put a hurt down on these Marines. Tech Lab just finishing here on this barracks, so it does look like it's going to be bio play again. Stimpack just getting started. No wall off yet, so if Red Bandit goes for that Zergling run by followed by the Banelings again, could be potentially disastrous there. Bunker going down in front of his natural. Medic starting to get on the field. Some fire bats as well. Baneling Nest just started, so this is a pretty close game to the last time. Is Dirtybag going to be able to scout this, though? The Zergling runs right past the SCV, not paying attention, does not see the SCV, will scout this base. I'm so excited for this to happen. He's not going to be unaware that his opponent has a macro lead at this point. He's going to get up there, see that only 2 drones have been started here so far. 2 more on the way. I believe these are drones anyway. Yeah, 2 more drones on the way up here. So he sees this, he kind of did a double take there, and he's going to head back on out. 1 Zergling running over here to try to catch this SCV as he leaves the base, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch him. And it's gonna prompt him to move his Zerglings out a little bit more to the middle field, whether that's to put on pressure to make sure that his 3rd doesn't get taken out, I'm not sure. The Overlord does see where the SCV is hiding, and there goes 1 Zergling up there to take care of that SCV. And there goes Red Bandit's signature Zerglings all over the map to scout. And that Zergling does get his first kill there to kill off that SCV. This Zergling going to try to poke the front, see what he's up against. And he does see the fire bats. The fire bats look so big right now. But he's going to see this move out here. He's going to try to get his Zerglings into position a little bit, morphing some Banelings in. And I'm sure he's going to go for that surround there. Overseer flying through to see what he can see as he sees his forces moving out. 2 Marines given the task of chasing that Overseer down. And this force is moving across. Red Bandit setting up his flank here. Scan going down, he's going to see the Zerglings running out, so he knows that there are Zerglings over the left. He stims to the left, Firebat's up in front, going to try to tank the damage of these Banelings. And the Banelings makes huge connection, taking out the Firebats there. More Firebats do stand though, and they've done so much better than we saw in last game. Still 2 Firebats standing, all the Marines still alive. And the Zergling's going to try again to catch this around here. None in the main though, so he's just going to be trapping the Terran player into his own base, or into the Zerg's base, is what I'm trying to say. And a couple of these Zerglings on the rally, just trying to run past the Marines. Some coming up, going to catch a nice surround on these Marines. The Firebat did fall, so these Marines going to run off into the corner to die here with a couple of Medics. Dirtybag did do quite a bit of damage there though, killing off a lot of Marines and Banelings. And he is also keeping Red Bandit on 3 bases, since Red Bandit knows that Dirtybag knows about this base. He's not as willing to take that 4th, because that is doubling bases with your opponent knowing about it, which is quite a bit different than just taking a 4th when your opponent thinks it's your 3rd. Scouting Zerglings reassuming their posts. And we see a couple of these slow Baneling centrifugal hooks about halfway finished. We see some factories on the way. Oh no, just 1. Okay, so that's gonna be to get the starport out. 2 drops. Wow, scans going down everywhere. There goes the 4th base just dropping down. There's a command center on the way to Red Bandit's 3rd base. You have to get over here to take care of these Zerglings that are gonna try to push over and delay this. But it will take the Marines a minute to get down there. He's starting to move down right now to try to secure that with a small group of Marines, Medics, and Firebats. And that should take care of this Zergling in no time. Overseer going to try to get out of there, dropping off a Changeling real quick. Overseer does get taken out as well as the Changeling. And what is this? A Viper Nest on the way now as well. And I'm not real sure. I've seen the Vipers used for their ensnare ability, and I've also seen them used for the Scorpion Mortal Kombat attack. So he's going to try to run in here, but no, the Bioforce is waiting there. Going to be forced to back up a little bit here. He's got a nice 2-pronged attack getting set up, it looks like. Binley's going to roll up here to help the main attack while Zerglings try to run in from behind, but the wall is up. And this force is going to be more than enough to take care of these Zerglings. But meanwhile, the main force pushing in, doing huge connections with these Banelings. But the bunker will stand and the Zerglings are forced to retreat. If he gets an SCV over here to repair this, he can save it, but it looks like he chooses not to. Unloads the Marines and just lets the bunker burn down. Oh, a couple of Banelings getting into the mineral line there, killing off a few SCVs. Really nice. He's rolled down all the way from up here. He must have had the banelings on the move command, which is why they started changing direction. They weren't going up to help. They were just finding the easiest possible path. Massive groups of Zerglings grouping up here. We can see this Zergling Baneling is just extremely powerful in this mod. It looks like, I think that Terran players might have to start adapting to getting a few more tanks, even in their bio builds, just for defense. Perhaps EMP, or I mean not EMP, Irradiate might work. I'm really not sure what options they have as far as the bio goes to take care of Banelings. There we go, another small force pushing across here. Just a few fire bats with the Marines in the nice gooey center. A big surround set up by Red Bandit, but because of Dirtybag's movement, he is actually catching Red Bandit unaware a little bit here. Zergling's trying to set up a surround, but reinforcements will cut that off, and Red Bandit is now in full retreat mode, picking off what looks like one fire bat. We do have Vultures with Vulture speed on the way, a couple more factories going down, so it looks like a transition to mech on the way. We've got some Marauders in the mix as well. Got +1/+1 on the way for our Terran player, +1/+1 about ready to finish for the Zerg player. Adrenal Glands gonna finish up here pretty quickly, and the Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. We saw last game the Ultralisk Cavern did go down, but we never actually saw any Ultralisks. Oh, the Viper Nest is required for Hive Tech, isn't it? So that's what that was for, I think. One Zerglin coming down here to scout again is going to see this massive force, and look like he's going to save the Zerglin, but no, that is not the case. Putting down some Spider Mines. I can't imagine those would be ineffective versus the Zerg army, and I believe this is, the patch just came out today, so this is definitely pre-patched. So these are the old Widow Mines that just had a little bit of a delay to them that a lot of people didn't like. Big Force going to try to catch Red Bandit unaware. The Baneling's rolling in though and getting some pretty nice connections. Marines need to ungroup. Big connections there. Sorry, my mouse got stuck there on the UI. And Dirtybag able to actually clean up that force, but he lost a lot in that. A couple of Marines getting caught in a giant clump there, getting hit by those Banelings. And the second force coming in, small connections there for those Widow Mines, unfortunately. Red Bandit able to separate those targeted Zerglings. Counterattack going to try to come in. This force still hanging out down here, though. Going to be able to clean this up, no problem, especially if SCVs get over there to repair those supply depots. She's going to want to do eventually. Red Bandit being very active with his force. Dirtybag's got little pockets of armies all over the place. The Vultures being able to fly in and give support wherever they're needed. Getting to these Zerglings first. A nice surround on this small force over here. But it's mostly just Zerglings. The Banelings are going to come in afterwards, and he needs to split up these forces quickly. The Banelings just start rolling right on through. The medics all falling. The Vulture's going to try to kite this, but the Zerglings catch them and pin them in, only losing 1 or 2 Vultures though at most. But the giant pack of bio does get caught while the Vultures are being microed. But Dirtybag is going to eventually chase this back. He has taken a supply lead, but for how long? A small little skirmish down here will cause an Overlord to be cleaned up afterwards. And the Vultures dropping some Spider Mines here in their wake. Looks like they're roping off this area here so they can go start cleaning up some drones. Verifying the drones, some Zerglings running in for reinforcements. Does not look like the Spider Mines are in the perfect position to catch this, and a nice surround on the Vultures there. So many Vultures getting cleaned up. Some Spider Mines going down, but they will not be able to burrow in time, and all the Vultures get cleaned up. The small bio force was coming to support. Will now retreat, and another group of Vultures coming in from the right side, going to try to go for, he's dropping some more Spider Mines to cut off the reinforcements. Looks like he's putting them a little bit out of position though from where they would be most, oh no, not if he's, okay, he's just putting those there because it's a common path. And the little mini Ultralisk coming in right now, going to kite them over the minefield here. Mines burrow and connections, big connections on these Ultralisks. This Ultralisk almost falls. 3 health remaining out of his original 400. And one more Spider Mine connection there. Big barracks army floating across the map here. Not entirely sure. Oh, is he going to try to set up walls to distract the Ultralisks, maybe? Or is he just using these for scouting? Looks like he's totally abandoned his Bioforce, and these barracks are now going to be masses of scouts here. A couple of Vultures taking on some Ultralisks, shooting down and targeting down some Banelings real quick. Very nice. Picking off some Zerglings as they run by. These Vultures being so annoying. Spire is going down right now, so we're going to see a Mutalisk transfer now that there's not so much bio on the field. And one Widow Mine does make a big connection, or one Spider Mine does make a connection. One Ultralisk falls. A second goes down as well. These Vultures really just paying for themselves. A big push down here from Ultralisk as well, but these Spider Mines doing so much damage. Vultures and Goliaths trying to target these down. Siege tanks in the back, firing more Spider Mine connections. These Ultralisks are all but dead. And the last of them do fall. This push held off beautifully. This Spider Mine's so good at dealing with Ultralisks. And a huge group of transferring SCVs just start getting taken out by a small pack of Zerglings. Marines and medics running down here to save them, and they will. No command center over here to take that care of that though. A huge group of Ultras just wreaking so much havoc on the map, taking so much map control. And Ultralisks running down here now, along with some Banelings, going to clean up all of these SCVs. Huge victory here for Red Bandit. And these Vultures here doing what they can. They really need to make something happen at this point. We're now looking at 5 bases for the Zerg player. These Vultures are doing the damage that they really need to do right now. Focusing down a few more Zerglings, they're going to be forced to retreat. And 1 or 2 Ultralisks also fell. Some Ultralisks coming in from behind, going to pick off a few Vultures while they're not paying attention. More and more falling. Another big Widow Mine connection going to hit, or Spider Mine connection going to hit 2 of those 3 Ultralisks there. Nice Spider Mine connection there as well. These Ultralisks are all below half health. But there are more and more streaming in. This economic advantage is proving to be such a pain for Dirtybag to deal with. You have more Goliaths on the way to deal with this upcoming air transition. Siege tanks now pushing across the map as well. So cool to see this bio to mech transition happen so flawlessly. And a couple of Spider Mines picking up more Zerglings. The Spider Mines just being so effective. Really great control. And the tanks focusing down some Ultralisks. And more Ultralisks going to come in from the back. There is an Irradiate on one of them though. It's going to be taking huge damage, and that Ultralisk does fall. Mech Army taking huge damage, but slowly pushing its way in. Only 5 siege tanks remain with a group of Vultures as well. The Spider Mine's not detonating fast enough to take care of those forces though. And a couple more Burrows to try to protect these siege tanks. Siege up in the back. Another Ultralisk falls, and the Vultures are pushing into the natural with Red Bandit. Meanwhile, Dirtybag is about to secure his 4th base, which is what he really needs to do at this point. He needs to be able to keep up economically. Another Ultralisk falls. A couple of Overlords loaded up with some Ultralisks. Really great idea. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do the damage that he was hoping it would do. And now Red Bandit looking at in a very difficult position. Siege tank sieged up between his natural and his outlying expansions. And the Vulture is going to start trying to attack the natural hatchery here. Almost losing one of the Vultures to splash damage from the siege tanks. Ultralisks running in right now. The tanks are unsieged. Here they go, sieging up. Right now, Mutalisks are now on the field as well. Only 3 Goliaths. And some Ultralisks on the side. Science Vessel finally makes it over there. Does throw down an Irradiate? No, he doesn't. He just floats right on by. And the Mech Force putting on the contain will get cleaned up. Dirtybag is able to hold his 4th for now. The siege tank going to get cleaned up as well, taking out a few Zerglings before it dies. These science vessels at least will live another day. This science vessel, I don't even think that Dirtybag realizes he has another one hanging out up here, as it was just rallied to come up here when it was done. Ooh, nice little connection there from the Spider Mine on some Zerglings, but a big wave coming down here to try to take out this 4th base. Dirtybag needs to get something over there to hold it against some Ultralisks Zergling pressure. And it looks like he was able to intercept the force, really be able to take out this Ultralisk, though that is the question. He does force Red Bandit to retreat, and only a couple of Zerglings running into their death. One more SCV will fall on a transfer. And now more and more units just streaming across the map right now. Looks like this is where they were rallied, so these Ultralisks going to take huge damage as they run right past them. 2 Irradiates going down on 2 of the Ultralisks. Really nice catch there by Dirtybag. This science vessel still hanging out up here. Just keep and watch a 6th base coming down here for Red Bandit. Their newest expansions are so close together. Scan's going down to try to find this new base. He doesn't even guess that his opponent will be expanding this close to him. We've got barracks everywhere, keeping a nice watch on these couple of bases. Going to be able to see what kind of reinforcements are streaming in from those bases. And we just see so many Ultralisks, more and more on the way. Chitinous plate, or no, this is Zerg ground armor level 3 as well as Zerg melee attacks level 3. On the way, does he have chitinous plating already? Where is it? Yes, he does. So this Ultralisk pretty buff. 5 armor total right now. Or is there no chitinous? No, there is chitinous plating. Pretty sure. Yeah, because that's where we're companion run. That's why he has 4 armor. Ooh, a massive run by here with some Zerglings. It's going to do a lot of damage to this production facility right now. Vulture's coming over here to try to clean this up as quickly as possible, but he did lose a factory in the process to just a couple of Zerglings. And +3 ship weapons already just about to finish. So this mech transfer really caught up quite nicely here. It will finish in any minute, and he'll just need the armor upgrades in for his mech, and he'll be good to go. Overlord's streaming over to this rally point here. So many Ultralisks. And I'm not really sure what you do against this many Ultralisks when you're still in factory tech. I know that a lot of people like to switch into kind of a battle cruiser and start getting air because Ultralisks obviously can't shoot up. That's their one massive weakness. Ooh, looks like there's going to be a doom drop here with 3 Ultralisks and 2 Overlords filled with Zerglings. Is he waiting for more Overlords? It doesn't look like he is. He's going to go ahead and move out with these few here. Vultures here trying to put a little bit of pressure on. A couple of Scourge trying to hunt down these science vessels that are somewhere. Also getting a little bit of map vision on these Vultures, but Dirtybag does see it, starts microwing his Vultures just in time. A couple of those Irradiates going down. The Scourge do leap into action at that point, take out the science vessel there. And here come the Goliaths to give a little bit of support here. Dude, the Goliaths, I've seen people go Goliaths against Ultralisks a couple of times, so it must be pretty good. And there we see the Ultralisk slowly melting away. That one standing a little close to his buddy there, giving off a little brotherly love. Nice little siege line getting set up here. Some of these other tanks might want to siege up as well, just in case a push comes down. But here comes a doom drop. He does scan it though. Does he know that they're filled with Ultralisks and Zerglings though? We will have to find out. And it does look like he focused some of them down. I believe some of those were filled with Ultralisks. And Red Bandit just running straight into this huge wall of fire. And he is forced to retreat there. Not even a single Ultralisk lives through that though. A nice little run by over here with the Vultures. Going to try to focus down this base. One Overlord remains with 14 health, and Red Bandit running over here to try to save this base from the evil Vultures. One Vulture in the back, and he gets surrounded by Zerglings very quickly. Spider-Man makes a 1 connection there, hitting a couple of Zerglings that do quite a bit of splash damage as well. And these Vultures are going to run around in circles and try to be as annoying as possible, taking out the Spine Crawler if they can. So close every time. It takes it down to like 1 shot. There we go. Finally able to clean that up, and he's just going to try to kite this Ultralisk around in circles, not finally flying out of there because that just requires way too much attention. +3 armor, about halfway done now. 2 more tanks on the way as well as 2 Goliaths. He's just replenishing this army very quickly. Both players have quite a nice bank to rely on at this point. Terran player still sticking really close to max at 172 supply. Zerg player only at 128 right now. But he was able to save this base. He lost quite a bit to save it, but it is still standing. He's going to be able to put some drones down there. 2 Spine Crawlers going to come down to try to save it from any further Vulture harassment. Now we've got 4 science vessels here for Terran player, and he's just handling this wonderfully. Scans going down all over the map here. He's going to be able to see the main army here, which is right now 4 Ultralisks and a bunch of Banelings. Now if the Banelings can get close to these Goliaths, they can still do quite a bit of damage. If they can make connection with the Vultures, that's great. The siege tanks, though, is what they have to worry about. The splash damage works just like it does in SC2. That damage from the siege tanks will take out Banelings quite easily, but this is going to be a Baneling drop. Going to get some Bane Rain in on one of these, either on one of the bases or in one of the fights here. Defiler showing up and consuming some of the lesser Zerglings around. Try to get that energy up so that he can start throwing some Dark Swarm up over, which will nullify the siege tanks quite efficiently, or effectively, I guess. 2 Goliaths moving up here are going to be... Does he not know about this base yet? Well, if he didn't a second ago, he does now. And these 4 drones are doomed. 1 Ultra's running in here, able to take out a siege tank. He's going to go for these Goliaths too, but he will get taken out before he finishes off one of the Goliaths. This base gets cleaned up here. Big force though, going to move down on the bottom right-hand side. He knows this is the weakest point that Dirtybag has right now. Will these spider mines do not make connections? He's going to take out 1 Goliath, 2 Goliaths go down. And that means that 1 Ultras, 1 Zergling will push into the natural here. Siege tank sieging up on the high ground in the main. And now Red Bandit going to push against the main force. Dirtybag though moving north as we speak. And Red Bandit slowly moving across this minefield here, taking out all the mines on the way. But a big minefield. 2 of them will target a Zergling and don't do a lot of damage. Pushing up here, siege tank sieging up, firing back. The Ultras forced to retreat. This Ultralisk and Zergling are going to give up their fight over here as well. 1 Ultralisk coming down here to see what he can do. Going to be going against a couple of Vultures, some Marines, a Fire Bat, and a Bunker. Ultralisk pushing back up in here though with a Dark Swarm to cover them. Radiate coming down though, and once the Ultralisks are outside of that Dark Swarm, they are vulnerable once again, trying to move back into the Dark Swarm. But I think the Defiler died, and now that leaves all the Ultralisks dead as well. That's leaving a very small force. We can see the Terran player taking huge strides. The supply is almost even, but the position that Dirtybag has right now is so great for him. He's able to cut off 2 of these bases reinforcements. You can see a couple of units just streaming to their rally points, streaming to their deaths. Siege tank sieging up right here. Radiate going down on some drones, gonna be huge in deaths right there. There we go, only a couple of drones survive. Big run of Ultras coming down here to try to do some damage to Dirtybag's economy. Siege tanks in an excellent position though. Some Marines and Medics and Fire Bats in pole position blocking the ramp so these Ultras have to take as much damage as possible. And they are finally able to squeeze up there, and they might start targeting these tanks down right now. Zergling's running in here, taking care of the SCVs. Orbital forced to lift off. Ultras doing huge damage, finally clearing out the defenses here, and he might take out these 2 bases. Reinforcements streaming across. We've got siege tanks, Goliaths, and even some SCVs on their transfer over. Dirtybag going to continue his push. Not going to go for this base as it is completely mined out. But if he can take down this base, that would be great. More science vessels flying over top. He is focusing on this base right now, scanning, trying to see what he can do. Ooh, nice separation there from Red Bandit, losing only 1 Zergling to the spider mines. These missile turrets will hold for now. Meanwhile, Dirtybag taking out this base up here. Many drones falling. We've got siege tanks seated up. Great position once again. Ultras hanging out on the ramp, and these siege tanks have locked Red Bandit into what used to be the 4th and 5th base of Dirtybag. And here you can see them moving in. But a nice surround. They start attacking these siege tanks. Great surround, up close and personal with the siege tanks, and these Goliaths will get taken out as well. Red Bandit pulling himself back into this. It's in a sort of a base race mode right now. Dirtybag pushing out, clearing out 2 of the Zerg bases. Is he going to come home to defend? It looks like he is, streaming across the map and getting a rally of his forces, able to pick off a Defiler there. Great pickup. Zergling's running over here, taking care of this base as well. And Red Bandit just really turning what was potentially a bad situation into a great position. We now have no mining bases right now for the Terran player. He's forced to cut on some SCVs over this base here, but that's all he's got. This command center will eventually burn down. Red Bandit going for another surround, trying to come up behind the forces of Dirtybag, but unfortunately he missed his opportunity to choke those off, and Dirtybag's forces will join with his reinforcements now. Siege tanks need to siege up. Red Bandit closing in on these forces. Is Dirtybag paying attention? There we go. Nice line of siege tanks sieging up here. Just start firing. So many Ultralisks falling in the first volley there. And he does see that there are too many siege tanks, so he pulls out a Radiate going down on one of the wounded Ultralisks, and the Ultralisk will die alone. Little Zergling's running in here, try to pick off. He gets 1 siege tank. And just Red Bandit's decision making when it comes to these late game situations is so great. Whoops, my bad. Just knocked the cup over. Goliaths up front here to tank this damage. More Irradiates going down these Ultralisks. These Ultralisks all being separated from the rest. forget what the word is for that, but being quarantined, forced to die alone. And there we go, the Ultralisk is falling one by one. So sad. They just disintegrate there. Now Dirtybag going to push up here into what is usually the third for Zerg player, and Science Vessel's taking a nice position here to head off reinforcements. These Ultralisks running straight into a big group of Goliaths. Siege tanks sieging up on the high ground as well as the low ground. He's got siege tanks spread out all across the map. And he's scanning to see where the forces are. There's just really not a lot that the Zerg player has. He just keeps going back and forth. Who looks like they're in a commanding position and who isn't. This is the last mining base though for Red Bandit at the moment. He is setting up a base in the middle here, which will be really nice. It's a really strong base to have. It has double the mineral fields, double the gas. Well, it has 12 mineral fields. So it's double a 6 mineral expansion. One Ultralisk is going to run down here and is actually going to get a ton of damage done. There's nothing here to defend against this Ultralisk. He's just going to start picking away at SCVs. Even a Defiler just hanging out down here. No idea why he was there. Science Vessels running over, doing what they can. The Scourge not able to pick off those Science Vessels like he'd like, and the Goliaths coming up here to make sure the Scourge never pick off what they would like. And that is the cue for the Ultralisk, and Zerg is running. Dark Storm going down to protect these Ultralisks against these Goliaths. And they are outside of the Dark Storm now. You may want to pull these back. Another Dark Storm going down. Great positioning. Able to let those Ultralisks advance, but Irradiate now is going to force these Ultralisks to get out of there. Radiate just does so much damage. Oh, and they're actually splashing in the water. Interesting. This base did get shut down. A couple of Zerglings in, also trying to transfer over to a little bit of morass, getting caught out of position. And this is turning into a really low econ game. There's really no mining bases for either player right now. This base floating up in the air. This base can be shut down just as soon as this level. Siege tank connections really everything there. Scourge do make connection with some of these Science Vessels finally. Only 3 remaining now. Actually, yeah, only one of them has enough energy though for Irradiate. What else? They have Nerve Jammer, launch a Nerve Jammer at target location. Oh, nice. Certain Ultralisk running in here, cutting off reinforcements to pick off a few tanks for almost free. And then these Ultralisk Zerglings are going to run into the main here and try to get some damage done. They're going to pick off this orbital command, which will stop some of the SCV resupply. And Dirtybag with a stronger static army now going to try to take the center base instead. Red Bandit is pushing into the main production facility, though. Something's going to have to happen to save this. Radiate going down on the Defiler. And there's just not enough income right now to start producing things back home. So you might just have to lift off. Running the Ultralisk into the Dark Storm, which apparently does not stop the Radiate. This Ultralisk falling. Another full health Ultralisk, though, just running rampant in this base. All the factories forced to lift off. They no longer have their add-ons. Supply depots, armories being taken out. Armories don't really serve that much of a purpose anymore, though, now that all the upgrades are fully completed. And here we see Dirtybag's forces moving up. He does have almost double the supply right now. And this is just going to be really hard for Red Bandit to deal with, mostly because his buildings don't fly. So if it comes down to it, in this base race scenario, he is something that can shoot up. And there Red Bandit says, good game, not able to take this force head on at all. Really exciting game. Probably one of my favorite games of Starbow that I've seen so far. So really great, really appreciate Red Bandit sending these replays in. And just really great gameplay, thank you.